Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kay and this is All Things Kay, and I want to thank you so much for joining me on another video. So guys, this is another 3 looks 1 palette, and in this video I am featuring the Melt Cosmetics Amor y Mariposas pressed pigment palette. This is what it looks like. I will insert some close-up pictures and some swatches for this. This was Melt Cosmetics 2021 holiday release, and this is said to be a pressed pigment palette inspired by the comforting memories that you find after grieving the loss of a loved one, reminding you of the vibrancy of life. This is Melt Cosmetics' first ever 20 shade palette, which is filled with vivid jewels and neutral tones. This is a pressed pigment palette, so there's certain shades in here that they recommend to not use around the eye, and you have to use at your own risk. This palette is the first palette that I've ever tried from Melt. You're gonna see me using the formula for the first time, and at the end of the video I will tell you what I think about the Melt formula. Well, the formula in this palette, because that's the only one I can speak on. I know from reviews and things that I've seen that Melt Cosmetics is hit or miss in certain palettes, but the color story of this one grabbed me. I am a lover of jewel tones. I love jewel tones. I love plums, I love berries, I love greens. Like, I just love jewel tones, and this palette was just right up my alley. And another thing, if you don't know about me, I love butterflies, and the artwork on this is amazing. I just love everything about this palette. I even have my butterfly shirt on, and it says "You are beautiful," just in case someone hasn't told you lately, you are. Right, so we are going to do 3 looks using the Melt Cosmetics Amor y Mariposa palette, with this look being look number 1. So if you're interested in seeing the looks that I come up with using this palette, stay tuned and keep watching.
Of decisions whirling in my heart, and my vision, a rescission, has never been this hard. I got wasted when I tasted the sweetness of your lips. We're not ready, we're unsteady, I'm stuck inside your grip. I'm going down, down, down like a waterfall. You're keeping us miles apart. You got me down, down, down like a waterfall. You know just how to restrain a heart. The question of obsession has never been this close, and the matter if I'd rather just lock myself indoors. I'm righteous, this virus, no dog or pill can cure. This pattern won't turn it, you got me by the core. I'm going down, down, down like a waterfall. You're keeping us miles apart. You got me down, down, down like a waterfall. You know just how to restrain a heart.
Alright guys, so you saw how I created this first gorgeous look. I feel like my eyes look like a butterfly. I love the tones. So far, so good with this palette. The tones that I've used in this palette for this look, I can say they're very, very pigmented. This tequila shade here is a little crumbly. It will probably be more intense if I wet my brush, which I did a little bit, but I like the blown out look of that inner shade, and I love the depth of this look. Everything else that's on my face I will have listed down in the description section, just in case you're interested on what else I have on that put this look together. But let's move on to look number 2.
Watch me under the light, so keep me in your sight, 'cause I can do this all night. You can call it what you want, I got something else in mind. Oh, if it's you I've been waiting for, I better make you worth my time. So don't you pay them any mind, close your eyes, follow the sound. Keep it coming through the night, we don't need to slow down. Take it all, I'll give you what you need. If you stay with me, I'll love you in the dark. So shine on, don't lose your spark. Show me what you got. Let your colors burn. Let your colors burn down. Let your colors burn down. I'll let you in the dark. I'm waiting in the dark, where I can see you so clear. All we got is here and now, so give it all you got. Don't you pay them any mind, close your eyes, follow the sound. Keep it coming through the night, we don't need to slow.
Alright guys, so this is look number 2 using my butterfly palette, the Melt Cosmetics Amor y Mariposa. I did a monochromatic green look, but I did add a little bit of that pink shimmer at the bottom just to break it up a bit. I love the shimmers in this palette, but what's really impressing me is the mattes. The mattes are pigmented, they're buildable, they're blendable, they are just beautiful. I mean, the greens that I used in this look are amazing. I was impressed with the mattes in look number 1 also too, but the more I use this palette is the more I'm becoming more impressed with this palette. So I am just excited to play some more with this palette. So let's move on to look number 3 using this Melt Gorgeous Butterfly palette.
This time I'ma win it. This time I'ma win it. What's my luck? I wanna get in. Inside your love, inside your love. This time I'ma win it. This time I'ma win it. What's my luck? I wanna get in. Inside your love, inside your love. We'll move all night, no worries, no doubts. This is my time to bring it. We'll move all night, no worries, no doubts. This is my time to make you dance, dance. You're never gonna catch me. Dance, dance. So what if I'm crazy? Can't take me out. I'll never come down, down, down. Hey boy, can you catch me? Hey boy, do you see me? Hey boy, do you see me over here? Like what you're getting? You can't get enough, can't get enough. This time I'ma win it. This time I'ma win it. What's my luck? I wanna get in. Inside your love, inside your love. We'll move all night, no worries, no doubts. This is my time to bring it.
This is the third and final look using the Melt Cosmetics Amor y Mariposas palette, and I had a fabulous time playing with this palette. I think the colors in here are beautiful. Again, you guys have to be careful with these darker shades. Those are pigments and they're not safe for use around the eyes. For me, I noticed that they stained my eyes really badly, but they didn't irritate or burn my eyes. But that doesn't mean that that's going to be the same thing that happens to you guys. So again, proceed with cautions. But my favorite part of the palette, again, is this second half. I just love these tones. Those are so beautiful. And one thing that I always remembered from watching other people play with Melt Cosmetics palettes is that they always say Melt makes the best red tones. So I definitely wanted to play with these shades here, and I definitely wanted to touch in the shade Mariposas, which is a orange shimmer. I don't play around with orange that much, so this palette really took me out of my comfort zone, but I love the way the look came out. I love color and I love playing in color, and this really gets you to think of other looks that you can do and get more creative. I did love look number 2 with the greens. I love the greens in this palette. The only 2 shades that I feel like I'm not a fan of are these 2 shades right here. They're both cool tone. This one's a little bit darker than this one. I don't think we needed both of them. I wish she had another shimmer and a lighter inner corner highlight, because currently Tequila is the only shade that I could really use as an inner corner highlight without bringing in another palette, which is something that you can always do too, is bring in another palette. But for this to be a complete palette for me, I wish there was one more shimmer shade, and I wish that one of them was, it would have been a brighter inner corner highlight. For this being my first Melt Cosmetics palette, I am actually really excited to try more from the brand. And I think that this was a amazing palette to introduce myself to the brand, because it has so much colors. The mattes are definitely buildable. I find that this is one of the most buildable matte formulas that I have ever tried. I've tried some other formulas where people said the mattes are buildable. I think once you pass 2 shades, you can't go a third without it being patchy. I noticed that with the Beauty Bay formula, and I noticed that with the Kaleidos formula, that once you start building up more than 2, you're gonna have some issues with patchiness. But this one, I could build and build, and I felt like I could have even built another shade on top of it and it would have built up beautifully. The blending, amazing. Pigmentation, amazing. I mean, what can I say? I really enjoyed using this palette. So that brings us to the end of the video. Let me know in the comment section, what look was your favorite? Was it look number 1, number 2, or number 3? I would have to say it's look number 3 for me, because I just love these tones. And yeah, I had so much fun playing in this palette. So if you like these types of videos, 3 looks 1 palette, don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe to your girl, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified at every single upload. And until next time, bye guys.